Welcome back. You're still tuned into Midcap Radar on CNBC TV18. One sector definitely in focus today is the real estate pack. Across the board, we are seeing stocks doing really well, and Puravankara is one of them. Today, it reported a very strong Q2 update. The company reported its highest ever sales in a quarter of 1,600 crore rupees. Sales have doubled on a year-on-year basis, both on a Q2 as well as the first half of FY24. To discuss more about this and to get a sense of guidance for the rest of this fiscal, we have Abhishek Kapoor, Group CEO and Director at the company, joining us now. Abhishek, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, it looks like it's definitely a real estate day, because across the board, not only your stock, across the board, we are seeing that moves come through. And that's been the trend as well. Strong demand trends that you all have been talking about. But 93% higher in terms of bookings in the first half. What is the outlook? What will second half look like? And what are the targets for FY24 in terms of volumes and value for you?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the show. Yeah, it's pretty exciting time for real estate. I completely agree. As far as our business is concerned, this has been in works for a while, in the sense that we've been planning to unlock this inventory or this land that we've been holding for a while. And the effort has been on. Now we are seeing the results of the effort that's gone in last few years. And what we are seeing is a consolidation phase of this industry. So clearly what is happening is that the organized branded players are getting larger and larger market share. About a couple of quarters back, there was a report which said only 33% of the market is consolidated to the larger branded strong players. We anticipated, that's my personal opinion, that in next 10 years, this will go up to anywhere between 60 to 70% on an increasing market. And therefore, you will continue to see this kind of growth for most of the organized players as an industry. As far as our outlook is concerned, we have already done about 3.28 million square foot, 3.38 million square foot this year. Last year, we had done 4 million in the entire year. And we are expecting to continue with the similar trend, because we still have a lot of launches to go, and the festive season is just about coming in. And these are the 2 quarters which do typically better than the first 2 quarters. Yes, I mean, it is outstanding because it is 100% growth, and that's not normal. But I think we will continue to show this kind of performance in the upcoming quarters because of our new launches.
Abhishek, any guidance then on H2 volumes?
Look, we don't give any guidance, but what I can say is that there was a total of 15 million square foot that was planned. We have still just done a smaller part of it, lots to go in this in the upcoming 6 months. So we are expecting that we will definitely continue the trend of this kind of performance which we are doing right now.
So will you be able to do around 8 million square feet, 7 million square feet, if you can give us a broad range?
Again, as I said, that we don't give guidance, but we are quite hopeful that we'll continue with the performance that we've been showing so far.
You said you had 15 million square feet, which was planned in terms of launches. Yes. How much of it is done?
Total about 4 million so far.
4 million. Okay.
And still a lot to go, as I mentioned earlier.
So this balance 11 million square feet for which you have visibility, this will be spread out over H2 and FY25?
Yes, part of it may go to the first quarter or the second quarter of 25. But currently they're all in advanced stages. So let us see how much of it, how the process works. So we are at the final leg of many of these approvals. So we are hopeful that we should be able to take most of it in this year, large part of it, and some of it will spill over.
Okay, what does this mean for pricing, Abhishek? Because we were speaking to Prestige Estates yesterday, and Mr. Razak said that as an industry, they look at prices stabilizing from here on. They wouldn't want prices to be hiked from current levels. You've seen a 7% increase in realizations. Is there further scope to raise prices? If yes, by how much? Or do you also agree with him?
No, look, I think prices will stabilize. I agree with him. But what happens typically in any of the real estate projects is that as you sell, in the life cycle of the project, there's a natural appreciation of price. That will continue. What may happen is that if I was looking at a new launch today, the price is X, and then a new launch tomorrow, price at may not be significantly higher, maybe 3%, 4% higher. But I personally believe that anywhere between 8 to 9% price appreciation definitely you can count on as far as the market is concerned annually.
Every year, 8 to 9. You know, this is the view which was echoed by one of the fund managers when we asked him on real estate. And he's saying, well, I believe 8 to 9% volume growth is possible. And add to that 7 to 8% price appreciation, which means roughly the industry should grow by 15% at least, you know, on an annual basis. So he didn't believe that the real estate cycle, believe that there is still a lot more to go for this real estate cycle.
Okay, interestingly. So Abhishek, what does this mean for land costs? We are talking about home prices rising. Are land prices going higher as well? Is that happening in a particular geography or is it across India?
Land prices have definitely gone up across India, clearly gone up across India. And I think that's definitely a challenge because you're replacing the inventory. And therefore, again, there will be some amount of upward pressure on the pricing because of the land cost itself and approval costs thereon. So, you know, as I said earlier, I believe that 8 to 9% appreciation in the pricing will definitely continue. And yes, land is going to get more and more harder and a little more costlier.
IT department searches are completed, and have they gotten back? What have they found?
Yes, so it was completed, and you know, there was no unaccounted cash or no unaccounted you know, transactions which were reported. So now we are in the process of engaging. We supported the authority with all transparency and shared all the information that they required. And as we go along, this is routine. This happens in our industry on a periodic basis to pretty much everybody. So it was pretty much routine in nature. But what was very, very heartening was the professionalism with which they approached it. Very detailed, very thorough, very, very protocol oriented. But I think, you know, India is changing.
Okay, all right. Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us. So that's the word coming in from Puravankara. Strong growth in Q2, and they expect it to continue in the second half of this fiscal as well. We'll slip into a short break, and as we do that, here's a quick programming note for you as well.